Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
You can navigate the legal and emotional journey of divorce and exit a marriage the way you entered it, with mindfulness, love, and respect. Solace Divorce Mediation is a full-service law practice helping couples focus on the health and well-being of children and their forever co-parenting family. Our streamlined divorce journey offers flat fees with an estimated completion time frame of 2 to 4 months. If you or a friend need us, visit solacedivorce.com.
Wake your butt up. Wake your butt up. Now you know why my mom ran from me every single morning when I was a little boy. I mean it. I just wake up with so much energy. I'm so excited about today. Why? Because it's another opportunity. What else? Right. Welcome to, what is it today? Ooh, my angel number. One of my angel numbers. 222. And then there's another 2023. A lot of twos in there. New beginnings. Ties right in with what's going on today. That's the Bella Purpose. Wake up, lean in, tune in. There's some truth out on the table when I ring that bell. Because just like that bell, yep, the truth has a ring to it. A lot of stuff to cover, so I'm going to speed monologue this morning. Welcome to the show. My sidekick, Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo, because I love some Lucy. I love her. I almost said Tara Sumik. What is that? Trying to figure out if it's a senior moment or I just didn't know the word. Tiramisu. That's the flavor. So it was not indeed a senior moment. So, good morning and welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. Lisa Ann Palmer's back. She's in the house. Big week for her. Big week for her. And we're going to make sure that it could be a big week for you too. We got something for you, something inside today's show that could very well enhance or at a minimum change your life. Okay. So what do I want? Oh, do I have some announcements? Yes, I do. I'm so excited. As soon as we wrap the show today, another Romania meeting. Yay. With Mike Suica. He's our young he's like 25 years old. He's an actor, a director, a producer, bringing a one-man show to the United States in June. We're going to see him here in Chicago, San Diego, DC, New York City. And so, yeah, Mike Suica and I are meeting, and our grand winner, 14-year-old, oh, Lord, I always say his name wrong. I just call him me. It's a long name. Luca, that's his middle name, so I can call him that. He's the grand winner of the essay contest, which was countrywide in Romania last year. I and one of my friends, one of my mentors, Jason Cisneros, was one of the panel of 7 critiquers, if you will. I hate the word judge, from around the world. And so this young man is incredible. Meeting with both of them today because we're getting there. I have in my hot little hands, you guys, the entire travel package with Yellow Jacket Travel. We've partnered with them. And so we have everything from when and where to fly into to Chicago on the 4th of May so that you'll be ready to leave early, like 4 in the morning on the 5th as we leave for our 7-day tour, the tour of, now that is a senior moment. Lord have mercy. The Legacy of Hope tour. So you just got to stop. You got to stop and grab it before he gets out the door. Once they start getting out the door, that's when they're going to put that little bracelet on. If found, please bring back to 1695 Smoky Court. So I'm not quite there yet. But anyway, yes, we are leaving and we're going to be there just pouring into everyone that we meet. This Power of We Symposium is not going to be like in the big fancy places like we do for the inner city kids here in the States. We're actually taking it to the streets of Romania, to the hospitals of Romania, to the youth centers of Romania. You get the picture, but a lot of it will actually take place on the street. We're taking buskers with us, young people who open up their guitar cases and play, and people throw coins in there, and puppeteers and actors and sketch artists. And I'm just so excited. So pray for us. If you or your organization would like to be a part of it, it's a great thing to get in. We're going to be nationally recognized because the United States State Department is sponsoring us. So we do have sponsorship packages. Those are available. And if you would like to know more, follow me on my page or just DM me and I'll get that to you. So Power Week this weekend in Miami, bringing in my good friend Jason Cisneros, my other great friend Todd Special, some surprises. Taking all of my coaching clients that want to go. There'll be about 25 of us in Miami for our yearly kickoff the year, Business Mindset Mastery, Awaken the Abundant Master Within. Now, if you're in the greater Miami area, Saturday, you can join us live. Tickets are $100 for an entire full day, not just the 2 to 5. The 2 to 5 you see on the screen is actually our live streaming. And if you would like a virtual ticket for the whole day, you can watch the first 30 minutes for free, and then you can purchase a $40 ticket for the rest of the 3-hour event. So it's really 3.5 hours when you include the first 30 minutes, which are free. And what do we do with that money? We pay for food for everybody, and we have got some great things lined up, starting with breath work, yoga, cooking classes, writing classes, hot seat for the entrepreneurs. Just going to be a great time for all. So pray for us as we travel. Now, you want to see something funny? And then I'm getting Lisa in here. Let me see. Okay, I'm doing good on time. My husband's aunt, Tia, that's Spanish for aunt. Her Jan is her name. She always gives the best Christmas presents. And when Brian came home, because he just did Iowa Christmas last weekend when I was in St. Louis, he said, "What'd you see what Tia got us this year?" Usually, one year she got me my blender, which is a really high tech. It was really great. And then it's that pasta maker that was really great. Then an air fryer, all stuff I like, right? This year she got us a painting. It's really painted. It's really beautiful, but it's so funny. Oh my God. It is too. I'm so glad she put Brian in the dress. I was like, it's too funny. We have our own American guy to be immortalized for the rest of eternity. So anyway, who's here today? You might remember she's been here before, but today she's here because a lot of work went into all of this. And Lisa Ann Palmer, the founder of Light Your Leadership, Inc., is here. She is an international best-selling author. The book is entitled Light a Fire in Their Hearts, The Truth About Leadership. And she's also the creator of the global LYLTalks podcast. Now, she's currently writing her second book, which is entitled Leadership in a Post-Pandemic World. Little personal stuff. As the proud daughter of Italian immigrants, Lisa helps clients to see leadership from a different perspective at all ages, all levels, and all backgrounds. How does she do it? How indeed. She uses practical examples and storytelling to help people learn about the importance of strengthening relationships and belonging, and how to connect at the human level through courage, compassion, competency. She is also, she has also, I thought I was misreading. She's done something else. She's developed the Elevate and Scale Your Leadership program. We're going to talk about that today, which focuses on vertical leadership development from the inside out. Whew. I needed to do some lip warm-up exercises for that joint. That, boy, let me tell you. And I only read that much of it. There's like 8 more pages. But like my nieces and nephews say, I can show you, Uncle Lauren, better than I can tell you. So let's get her in here. Put your hearts on the screen. It's our way of saying good morning. It's our way of saying welcome. It's our way of giving a standing ovation virtually. Put some hearts on the screen. Here she comes. Lisa Anna Palmer. Not Ann, Anna Palmer.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very good. Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here, Lauren.
Now, let's see. Today's Wednesday. Is that why it's special? No. 222. Is that why? Wait, that is why it's extra special. Because 21 years ago today, someone on the screen was born. And clearly, you know, it wasn't me. Isn't today your birthday?
Tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. So you
got to add a couple of numbers or decades to that, but thank you.
So tomorrow's your birthday.
Yes, it is. Yes,
wow,
it is.
What a great
it's my birthday week.
I know. I should start doing that. No, never mind. Because I have a niece who celebrates the entire month. I'm not kidding. She wears a tiara the entire month. Every place she goes for the whole month. And then she takes extras and makes people wear them. Like if you go to dinner with it. No, everyone hides when it's Sherry's birthday. Hi, Sherry. Oh, so any big plans for birthday week outside of what we're here for today?
Yeah, well, we had family over this past Sunday because it was my son's birthday on the 13th. So he turned
Nice.
21, actually. So we're the same age. Magical.
Well,
How does that happen?
you adopted a grown ass man. That's what you did.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that was really, really nice. We had family over. We played some board games. There are kids, people of all ages. So I love that. And tomorrow we'll probably just go for a really nice dinner with my immediate family. And well, this launch that we're going to talk about today is pretty huge. So
It really is a lot of work and time and effort and pain, sweat, tears, purpose, all the above and more poured into this experience. Before we get into that, how many kids do you have?
One.
You only have one?
Yeah, his name's
Why
Jake.
did I think I don't know where I got the idea you had like 6.
Oh, wow. That would be cool.
Not too late. She's like, yes, it is. You have one child.
Yes.
Wow. Is he spoiled?
He's well, we gave him lots of love, and he's a great young man. So
I bet he is. How could he not be? So how does your son and your husband feel about all that's going on? I'm gonna tell that, and then I'm gonna dip out and let you bring in this wonderful thing that's happening this week today, and then we're gonna get into it because we got a surprise, an opportunity for all of the viewers today. So how do they feel about?
Yeah. So my husband Andrew, my son's Jake, they're very supportive, as is the rest of the family. I think I feel the most excited about it because I kind of have all the details. But they've been really supportive. So no complaints there. They're excited. I think once they see like what it really is about in terms of a rollout, right now I've been kind of had my head down working on this, since American Thanksgiving. I'm in Canada, so I have to differentiate.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was like, okay, we know it's American. What's wrong with her?
Well, there's Canadian Thanksgiving in October.
You're Canadian.
And I have some friends, good friends, Tracy Laren. She kind of like lit that fire under me to get this program developed, as well as the people at Samcart and PNC Logos and all the people who've helped out. Really, really appreciate, as well as a number of mentors. Ooh. Yeah, it's been a ride. So they have, my son and my husband don't know all the details yet. So they're going to find out kind of at the same time as everyone else.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. When mama's not cooking because she's speaking in New York City, or she's, because a lot of great things are headed your way with this. It's just incredible work, and we're going to get into that. But first, here, why don't you take a moment, say hello, tell people, fill in a little bit that I didn't hit on the bio, and then I'm going to come back in, and we're going to get started talking about exactly what this rollout is all about and who's it for. Take it away.
Absolutely. So, this is a labor of love that I'm bringing to the world. It's called the Elevate and Scale Your Leadership Program, and it means a lot to me because a number of reasons. So I burnt out 3 times before I turned 38. So now I'm 52. It's taken a long time to kind of work through that. I was working in corporate and, didn't know how to set boundaries. I was also a leader, which brought on extra stress. At one point, I was doing 3 jobs. I was acting director, I was a team leader, HR policy. So I spent over 20 years working in corporate, and then I started my business in 2011. It was first called PALMER Consulting, and in 2020, I changed it and incorporated to make it Light Your Leadership Inc., because that's really what I started to focus on. I noticed that there were too many people suffering in the workplace, be they individual contributors, be they leaders. And I thought, it's not necessary. So I created this program to be able to bring all the different pieces that I've developed over the years and be able to offer it in an integrated program.
That's awesome. How many hours would you guesstimate have been poured into getting this baby all the way through the gestation period, if you will?
30 years, because that's how long I've been working in the business, right?
Wow. And so really pretty important work to you. Listen, let's kick things off. I want to share something because one of the things that I find really interesting, just one of the many things about this work that you've created, is how you have a focus on leadership in a post-pandemic world. And that, you know, um, post-pandemic. I mean, that seems like the kind of thing that a lot of us think we would know what it means, but we really don't. But we agree, oh yeah, almost like, and I wrote it down, and I'm going to show this little clip, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about these two things first. First, the burnout you experienced 3 times, and what did it look like? Because we hear that term a lot, but we don't know, what does it really mean? I don't think a lot of us even understand, is something burning? Y'all smell that? Something yeah.
Yes.
Your literal ass. You're burning up. You're burning out, but you don't know it.
The flame's going out. Yeah.
Going out until it's too late. So go ahead. Talk
Yeah.
about burnout.
So I think burnout's one of those things that, every individual experiences it differently. Be it physical, mental health, combination of both. In my case, the first time I was around 27, 28. I was working for a big 6 consulting firm, and I loved my work, but I was doing way too much, and I didn't know how to say no. So everything, I was brought up, daughter of Italian immigrants, so you work hard, and there were days that I wasn't even eating. I had looked back and I said, okay, I took 1 day off in a year. I was working 100-hour weeks. It was crazy. It was really, it was. So what
1 day off a year?
Yeah. So what happened was my sister, my love, her name's Emily, and my brother were like, you're looking kind of green. Like I was literally like turning pasty, And then when, one day it culminated, like I was getting symptoms. I was having abdominal pains, etc., and then huge migraines. And one day my husband had to call an ambulance because my migraine was so strong that I was on the floor. It was like a cluster headache. I was like screaming in pain. And they had to come get me. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't understand burnout at the time. I was 28 years old, And so went to the hospital, and they had to give me this cocktail of like Demerol and Tylenol and different things because I was in so much pain. It was really excruciating. So that was the first time. And you'd think I'd learn. So I thought, okay, maybe I'll change employer, and that'll help. So then I went to work. It was a Crown Corporation, which is a federal employer, for 2 years. And so there, I was starting to do better. The work wasn't as stressful, but, I was kind of like in a recovery mode. And then I went to work for another Crown Corporation with a more responsible role in human resources management, where I was advising vice presidents and their teams on how to basically lead their teams, their resources, their sectors, etc. And things were going well for a few years. And then they wanted me to take on greater roles of responsibility. Okay. So at one point they said, okay, can you be manager or team leader of HR policy? Because I had those skills that I developed when I was at the big 6 firm. I said, sure. And then I was doing well. And keep in mind, I loved my job with my team before this. Okay. So I was doing well. But then they're like, okay, well, we need an acting director because there hasn't been one in 3 years, and on the organizational effectiveness side. So I said, okay, sure, I'll take it on. And you know what? I delivered. And then I was doing 3 jobs at one point. And I did that, right, for a long time, about a year and a half. And I had a toddler. So I was working 14-hour days. There were days where I'd forget to eat because I was just, and this was like in the office.
I have those days now and then. Right? And then you go, how did that happen?
One day my blood sugar had dropped to like 2. Like it's amazing I didn't pass out. So that time I burnt out. What happened was I was getting achier and achier, more pain, fatigue, and I was still, pushing myself. And then I had, I felt guilty because I wanted to be home with my son. And that's what I really wanted. I wanted to be with my family, but I didn't know how to say no. And I felt this sense of duty, like if I didn't do it, right?
That was what I was about to ask you.
Yeah.
I promise. Have you ever been told or considered the possibility that you just don't know how to say no? But also, I think there's a flip side that's totally different with the same result, which is not just some people that don't know how to say no, they don't know how to they don't know when to say yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wasn't saying yes to myself. That's for sure.
Exactly.
And then also the leadership, they kept piling on the work. They saw me struggling. And if they didn't, they should have, right? So that's part of the things that I teach is like, notice what's going on in your employee's life. Don't keep piling on the work when you see them struggling. They're a new mom, like it was just, so what happened then is I got fibromyalgia. So I got diagnosed with fibromyalgia around 34. And you know what, Coach, I couldn't even walk. Because I had to try to find ways to do exercise. And I was mall walking with my parents who were in their 70s at the time. And their friends with the walker were lapsing me. Like I could barely go. And so that was the second time, right? And the third time.
Hi, Emma. I'll catch up with you.
Yeah, it's like,
wow.
Right? And I laugh about it now. It was very difficult at the time. And so then I went back. The thing is that up until that point, I had good relationships with the people I worked with. Of course, I said yes to everything. So then I talked to a coach and anyways, I pulled back from the leadership roles because, I had to take care of my health. And I went more to a strategic role. Like I was corporate recruitment strategist, really fun work. And I still delivered like more than a person's worth of work. But they didn't like the fact that I was scaling back. And then I had gotten this new manager who had come in from another organization. So I had a lot of clout here. I worked hard, people respected me, and I had good relationships. And she came in and started bullying me. And so you can imagine after working hard, burning out, and then now you're adding a bully to the equation. Eventually I stood up to her, but just the fact that she was very, very stressful. And in my book, Light a Fire in Their Hearts, that's one of my opening stories is that, I was sitting there one day and I had access to the vice president of HR all the time. She was brainstorming and stuff, but she came in and now she wanted to control me. And she came in behind me and started pointing at my screen, knocking on it and saying, hey, make sure you CC me on that note. And then she was starting to take credit for work I had been working on for 3 years.
Ooh, we hear that a lot.
That's the day, that was the worst. So that's when I hit rock bottom. My stomach just went collapsed. Like it turned into a bag of rocks and I couldn't eat or drink for 2 weeks. I had to go to the hospital once by ambulance. And I remember thinking, it was like 2 a.m. and thinking, I hope my son doesn't wake up. He was a bit older by this time and see his mother being taken out on a stretcher, all because of work, And so what that led me over the years of reflection, looking back now, is that there were 2 gaps in leadership, my own in self-leadership and saying yes to me and setting boundaries. And then there was a huge gap in the leadership of the organization.
See, a lot of people don't lay that transparency or that label, if you will, on top of themselves as far as being about leading self. That's a big piece that gets overlooked. I am guilty of not paying attention to that either. But let me ask you, so we hear all the health issues, but what about emotional and things like that? Did this adversely affect your marriage at all?
Well, so I'm fortunate. My husband was extremely, extremely supportive. My son was very young, and my family was supportive as well. But it did affect me, of course, emotionally. I went from being a vibrant person who could do a ton of different things, and I was involved in sports and all kinds of things, and then all of a sudden having limitations through fibromyalgia.
But what was your husband saying to you?
Well, he was helping me, and then I felt bad because it's like, I kind of ruined his life at the same time, right? Now he's got his wife is sick all the time, and then I felt bad because I wasn't as active as I could be with my son for that period until I got I got myself back into going, but it was very hard. And the stress it caused on my family, it's like, imagine when you look at one of your loved ones and they're suffering, right? So that's what was happening around me. My family was looking at me as like, I'm the baby in the family. I'm the youngest of 3 children and 3 siblings. And, they were concerned too. So, yeah, it was very difficult.
So here you are standing in the middle of the circle with
Mhm.
all of this stuff, if you
Yeah.
will, and you realize what has happened and you decide it can't happen any longer.
Right.
And as the case is with many of us, once we start the healing process for ourselves, we find that, hey, this is a part of our calling. Now I want to do the same thing for others in the same situation. So then when you're in the middle of the circle, you start slowly turning around 360 degrees and you're looking at the people around you, others dealing with the same things. What did you see, and what was the first thing you did to try to get others to see what you could see, because now you've been a victim of it? Were they accepting of it, or were they like, girl, I'm just an overachiever, I got this, I don't know what you're talking about, I'm not even close to burnout? What was it that you found?
I found it was a mix. Most people were listening. I think when you have a story and you share it authentically, people tend to notice and listen. Like, I wasn't making it up. I mean, it was something quite apparent. So I think it mostly resonated with people. Of course, there's some people who are gonna say, "Oh no, oh well, I'm
Not
too
me.
bad for you," but not me, because right. Uh, but so what with the journey I went on was that I slowly decided that I was going to leave corporate to start my own business, because I had this calling to help, but I didn't really know what that was like. I just knew I kind of followed, what I wanted to do. And I had this idea I was going to write a book one day. So I started a company for HR consulting, but it was so broad, right? So I was getting all kinds of requests. Some of them were for, uh, conflict management, harassment, all these things, and or terminations. And I'm like, that's not like, it wasn't resonating with me. I said, that's not the kind of work I want to do. And then slowly, I started paying attention because I was getting into more coaching, career coaching, coaching leaders, and then also the work that I had done coaching leaders when I was in corporate as an HR consultant and internal. I started to put all the pieces together. I'm like, you know what? There are people suffering in the workplace, and the answer to this is we need compassionate leadership. We need courageous leadership. We need competent leadership. We need to connect at the human level. And that's where everything kind of aligned. And I focused my business on leadership development. Yeah, which is coaching, training, writing content, sharing it out, talking about it. And now people notice, and I coach clients. Like, even this last week, 2 of them were upset. That one of them was crying. She'd been bullied at work. It's just all over the place. And the stats back this up, that there's such a strong effect on what happens to people at work on their, not only their personal life, but their health, their mental health, their physical health. For example, there's a study that was done in Sweden. It's called the Wolf Study. And they found that if you work with an incompetent manager for a year, so incompetent meaning they don't know how to lead, they might be bullies, or they might not be clear, all those things, that you have the chances of developing coronary heart disease. You have a 25% greater chance. If you stay with an incompetent manager for over 4 years, that jumps to 64% greater chance of developing coronary heart disease.
Oh, yeah.
So leadership is a very important responsibility. And what I help people do is to become aware that if they're going to decide to become a formal leader, so leader of others, is that they need to take into account that they have a huge impact on that person's life, their health and the quality of their life, their mental health, and on the people at home. And the people at home, the children, the spouses, the parents,
the community,
the
your
community.
neighbors. all of it.
Absolutely.
Now, I want to ask this because we're going to get into this program. Um, Here we are. We're really not post-pandemic because people are still dealing with it, but pretty much. Um, Now, not all people who develop these things, I would think, this burnout stuff, is because they have a bad leader or manager. Simply, I mean, completely just that is the
Right.
problem. Sometimes, and I think a lot of people that are now working at home remotely post COVID, gone into business for themselves post COVID, a lot of freedom, a lot of independence, are finding that maybe they were not the leader they thought they were because now they're leading themselves. And for a lot of people, it's not turning out so well.
Right.
So, right. I hear it all the time.
You don't want to be your own worst boss, right?
I'm telling you. So let's take a look. I want to see because I like to, a lot of people will just Google things or whatever. So I found a little something. It's like 2 minutes long about leadership in a post-pandemic world. And let's take a listen to it. Then you tell me, are they right? Are they half right? All right? Or not even close? Based on what you've seen and what you feel. So let's take a look at that and we'll come back and talk about it.
I'm Nicole Walters, CEO and founder of Inherit Learning Company, and I'm chatting with Travis Montague, CEO and founder of Holler, about leadership and what it looks like in a post-pandemic world. Travis, we've seen how tech is used to get business done, but we want to know, how are you using tech to keep employees emotionally connected to the business?
Yeah, so, platforms have allowed us to connect and communicate, right? There's virtual hangouts within small groups that we do to coordinate and have meetings and share notes, etc. But you could use these same platforms to enable experiences that are focused on the well-being of people. One of the things that a lot of business leaders have learned over the last year is that it is the responsibility of leaders goes far beyond the workplace, and making sure that we are taking care of people in times that are unique or unprecedented, as we heard many times. And so what we've done at Holler is we've leveraged these same platforms that we use to collaborate, but to introduce new virtual programs, like programs that focus on mental health. At Holler, we do meditation, group yoga, all virtually, that come about in the middle of the day and remind people to relax and unwind. And all of these programs that we've rolled out have proven to be really important. Data proves that being cooped up in the pandemic is negatively impacting people. So we are taking steps to get ahead of it.
It sounds like Holler is finding inventive new ways to leverage tech during the pandemic.
Okay, so right there, the mental health, the relaxing, all the things that, and when they said taking care of people, well, that includes the leader self. So tell us about this program today that is launching this week, and why you're excited about it, who's it for, and then we're going to go into the opportunity that you have brought to the table for people to perhaps give their own income a shot in the arm, if you will, through what you're doing. So paying it forward with opportunity, which I think is really great. So I'm going to just step out, school us on what this is all about, all you.
Wonderful. Thank you. And I love that video, that what was being shared by Holler. It's all about that, right? Because it's together that we can make the world a better workplace. So it takes both self-leadership, either if you're an individual contributor or as a formal leader. So somebody who decides to step up and have people report to them so that they can guide and lead them and have people contribute to a shared goal. So the program I developed together with my team, it's called the Elevate and Scale Your Leadership program. And I'm so excited because it integrates all the things that I've created over the years to be able to be of service to help people to step into their leadership. I really do believe in leadership at all ages, all levels, all backgrounds. So there's something for everyone in this. It's a 3-tiered training program. It's virtual, and it also includes coaching and strategy sessions. The first tier is for emerging leader, and we're calling them the sparks. So the spark. So if you're someone who's exploring your leadership, is trying to decide, is leadership, formal leadership really for me? Or how can I be the best version of myself in my self-leadership, connecting with my inner leader, so to speak, then this is a great program for you. It includes live Q&A sessions for the first cohort, asynchronous, which means that you can do self-directed learning when it's a good time, as well as 2 strategy sessions with me, where we help you set some goals and have a chat about how you want to show up as a leader. The second tier is for the beams. So I call them like our rays of hope, our sunbeams, and you'll notice that it's all about light, right? Light and leadership. And the beams really are the managers, the new executives who are stepping into their role. And there's a lot of training out there that's based on what we call horizontal skills. So how to do performance management, communication, et cetera. So your more traditional programs, which are great, are really important. However, what Elevate and Scale Your Leadership does, it goes beneath the surface at the basis and that foundation of creating really great practices, ways of being to be the best version of yourself, so that all the other horizontal programs work better. So the vertical leadership development, which is the leadership development from the inside out, how to align your heart, your mind, your intuition, and to bring all that to your role so that you can connect with the people that you work with at the human level. And we really talk about compassion, how it can be a power tool for courage, and the importance of competence. We need more excellence. When there isn't competence, it's actually dangerous. We have, for example, a train here in town that they've been trying to build for years, and it keeps breaking down. Well, it's putting people's lives at risk. So competence is very important. And I'm noticing that, that's starting to slide a little bit. So instead of going to blame, let's see how we can use our vertical leadership development to increase the competence of the people we work with and to help grow other leaders. So that's the beams, or tier 2 of the program. And then tier 3 is for the top leaders, the beacons. So this is for people who are a bit more mature in their leadership journey, and now they want to have greater impact within their organization, in the community, and even globally. So these are the change makers who really are looking to leave a legacy and to create maximum impact. And age is not a factor. It depends on their role. So those are the 3 tiers. And so people can sign up for tier 1, and for tier 2 and 3, they need to apply.
I was going to ask how that worked.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Now, I wanted to ask you, speak to the person like myself, the solopreneur, who is trying to decide, well, wait a minute, I don't have a lot of people that I lead. But really, because when I think of it from this, I'm thinking my business, systems run the business and I run the systems. And I'm thinking, okay, my VAs, the different people that I work with, but it's not like I have a factory where I look down on the floor and see a bunch of people. So talk about how a person should choose when for instance, if I add up all my coaching clients, or then I add, the people I deal with for my different, masterminds and this, that, and the other, to keep everything rolling, the Power Week Symposium. Now, if I look at it from that, I think, okay. So is leadership just for people that work with you or for you, or some of both? You see what I'm saying?
Like I said, leadership is at all levels, all ages, all backgrounds. So it's really that force within you that wants to do good in the world. And it's like an energy, right? So that's different from management. So we're used to talking about them interchangeably, but leadership is within us. And so and I like your introductory song, show your soul. So
Yeah.
it's almost like leadership is the courage to show your soul and to live your soul mission. So figuring out how to tap into your purpose and your why. And the idea is that some of us are called for leading smaller teams. Some of us are solopreneurs. Some of us have a calling to lead bigger teams. And there's not one that has more value than the other. They are all valuable. What's important is that for it to be aligned to what's in your heart.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to say this. I'm going to tell you what is poking at me, because I've been sitting here. Honestly, I promise you, Lisa, I know we work together already, but I was sitting here going, I need to figure out a plan. I think I want to do this. Seriously. And I'll tell you why. Because I was doing that breakdown that I mentioned about the different facets of people, the different lanes. And then I heard something say to me, well, Lauren, why wouldn't this work for you? You need to be the leader of your brand. So talk about that, about the leadership components that doesn't just apply to the people, but the mission.
Yeah, the mission. And in a lot of ways, the tier 3, the one for top leaders, the beacons, right? So it's a manifestation of what do I need to do? Who do I need to bring in, whether or not they're direct reports or they're suppliers or service providers or clients or community? Who do I need to bring together to work towards this shared vision of a better world? And that requires us to go within. And that's where the vertical leadership development comes in, and ask ourselves, what do I need to do to be the best version of myself so I can make this happen? Because having that big brand is also a big responsibility, because you're impacting other people, you're impacting the planet. So really, if we look at leadership that way, it's like, how do we put people and planet first? And it could be many different types of combinations.
Right.
It's that humanity, that interconnectedness, how we can work together to make really great things happen in the world. And it's so needed right now, because there is a lot of suffering in many different situations. So we need to pull together to pull through this time. And I think that's why, right?
Absolutely. Now, pulling together, the power of we, all of this sort of thing. Now, I know there are those of you who are watching now or on the replay that are saying to yourselves, yeah, I got it together, or maybe I could use some help. But boy, do I know a lot of people in my close circle, my sacred circle, that could really benefit from this, because this is not the kind of thing that should attack someone's ego if you bring it to them. Like, hey, have you ever take a look at this? Now, I want you to get into this program that we're going to get into, this opportunity, if you will, for people who know. I'm like, for instance, I was going to tell you afterwards, I might as well put it out there now. I would love for you to, at some point during this coming weekend, come in live virtually and speak to all of the clients that are there, all of the people at our mastermind awaken the abundant master within, because this definitely is one of the combinations to that lock to grant you access into that abundant master within. So hopefully you'll have a few minutes on Saturday or something where you could come in. Right. So talk about this. On the bottom right now, there's an affiliate program. You don't see this that often in these kinds of programs. Tell us why, who's it for, and what made you think that this would benefit somebody? Go ahead and take that away.
Yeah. So one of the things that I talk about in Light a Fire in Their Hearts is how when we're able to create prosperity, how do we share that out to everyone? And also the message of the leadership, the compassionate leadership, is so important. I can't do this on my own. There are others who are in the movement as well. There's people who talk about love in organizations and compassion organizations, which is wonderful. But we need help from every single person to get this message out, because it will benefit everyone in your family. Who here, knows somebody who's burnt out or having trouble at work, or is trying to lead and is having a hard time, or is trying to start a business and is having a hard time? Well, the answer is that vertical leadership development, how to go within, dig deep, do the profound work of figuring out what is your why, and then building that courage to bring that out into the world, and to do that in a way that puts people on planet first. So this is why I created this affiliate program, is to be able to get everybody together, working together to share this out.
Oh, that's awesome. Great. That's a brilliant idea. Now, what would you say, Lisa, for people as far as, and I know you're just launching, but you kind of know, I'm sure, what to expect as you move down that sidewalk within this program. What about the person who's asking, well, how long will I have to wait before I can see some results? How long does it take for the change to begin within? Is there an answer to that question, or does it depend on what you bring to the table?
Absolutely. And this is what, I encourage people to define what does leadership mean to them individually, and also to meet them where they're at. It's not a race. As long as you have that vision that you want to step into the best version of yourself every day to be able to contribute and be of service, it's not a race. Enjoy the journey, And so the program itself is structured at 6 months, but there are you're going to have aha experience. You're going to have really deep insights into how you want to show up in this world, and then to build the courage and leverage the community to be able to make it happen. And I think that's one important message. We don't need to compare to others. You just need to tap into yourself. What feels right for you? Believe in divine timing. When you're ready, things will start to align. And this I can base on the fact that I've coached people now for close to 30 years. So I can see that what matters most is that the person sets that vision, gets clear, and then starts making decisions and choices to start to align to that. And then just to be open without trying to force it to happen at the right time. I could have created this program probably 3 years ago. I wasn't ready for it. There were certain experiences I needed to go through, to be able to speak, because that was one of the fears I had to deal with. I was very afraid to speak in public. And so I had to learn. I had to build that competency to do it. I had to build the courage to do it and have compassion for myself. So that's what is at the heart of this, is that what you do for yourself, you do for others. So when you connect with your own humanity, you have compassion for yourself, you build your courage, you build your competence, you can make really great things happen. And then how do you support others to do the same?
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Hey, we got a few minutes left, but
Yes.
before we get out of here, what would you say if you could give us 3 warning signs that you could possibly be headed towards a burnout, a breakdown, a fracture, if you will? What would your top 3 warning signs or red flags look like?
Yeah. So listen to your physical symptoms, tune into if you're starting to get more aches and pains, headaches, your stomach hurts, and it's there's nothing really that's pointing to anything specific. Check in, how's your life at work? What are you experiencing? If you're starting to feel fatigue, if you're starting to feel disengaged, things that you like to do in the past, all of a sudden you don't, you're not into it anymore. So that's on one end. As a leader, though, if you're starting to see reactions from people that you can't understand or comprehend, you're probably not showing up as the best version of yourself. So if they're pushing back, if they're resistant to you, if they're going off on sick leave, if all these things are signs that you probably need to start working on yourself in terms of becoming the best version of yourself as a leader.
Perfect. Now, scrolling along the bottom of your screen, you'll see that there's a link for the book. Now, all the links that you've seen, one is already inside your comments, and that's where you can book some time with Lisa. But we're going to drop the other 3 for the program, the affiliate program, and now the book. Talk about the book real quick. Who's it for? What's it about?
Yeah, so that's for anyone, let's say, who are working age, who want to connect and access their inner leader. So this is about self-reflection. How do you want to show up in the world as a leader? Start thinking about that. There's a lot of interactive exercises. There's a quiz, and it's also connected to my LYLTalks, which is the podcast, which have to do with inner leadership. And you can do some journaling exercises around that. So it's a
Perfect.
42-page guide. Yeah, lots of free resources within it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You also have a PDF you can offer people. We're going to tie it in with a gift from us here at Bathrobe Moments for anyone who, at any point, not just today, not just tomorrow, not just next week, but at any point you sign up with Lisa for the affiliate program offered here today. We're going to send you a special thank you package. Lots of resources, some great, insightful books and different guides to help you be the best version of your inner leader. So remember that is there, and Lisa will let us know here when you guys sign up, because I know you will. Go in and take a look. Now, there it is. There's the book. So, and also head over to lightyourleadership.com. You can find everything, not just what we're talking about today, but all of Lisa's incredible work. But of course, buy the book. Of course, buy the book. So in closing, what would you like to say to those leaders that still have a lot of leadership locked within, just itching to get out and change the world? What would be your final thought for them today, Lisa?
Yeah, dig really deep, find that energy that wants to do good, and then build the courage to unleash it onto the world, because we need that right now. That's your leadership. You can leave your legacy. Let's leave the world better than when we found it, right? And then I also wanted to add, there is something that's more suitable for anyone, something called the Life Inventory Assessment. So if you want to do your Leah with Lisa, it's you'll see the link below as well.
Yeah, because that's the one that's already inside the comments. That's the first one in there.
Yeah.
So you guys, it's in there,
and that's for anybody. And the thing is like, always remember that together we can make the world a better workplace.
And just a better place, period.
That's right. That's right.
We take into the workplace what we drag from home, and we drag home what we take from the workplace. So sometimes you can't tell where one ends and one begins. Right. But if it is joyful, healthful, and it serves you, who cares where it begins and where it ends? Keep it coming.
That's right.
So, Lisa, thank you so much. I know I don't even have to say good luck because I don't believe in it, but I'm just wishing you all the best with this and everything else you've got coming. You got a lot more coming this year, and you guys get over. Don't forget, check out everything that Lisa does. I'm going to go ahead and drop all of those links inside your comment section at the conclusion right now of today's broadcast. Get out there today. Be the best leader you can, starting with how you lead yourself. I will see you tomorrow morning, God willing, on the front porch, where together we will do it all again, because of the promise that guarantees where two or more of us comes together, spiritual magic is the result. Have a great day. I love you, and there's not a damn thing you can do about it. See ya. Thank you so much. Great job, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Dr. Lauren.
Of course, all the time. Bye-bye, y'all.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How explicit do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind. But you